All right, I think this is going to work. Hopefully you can hear me. Here is what I do to find the SSE, the sum of squared errors. I couldn't find a direct um, input into a spreadsheet where I just put equals, do it for me. So I'm going to walk you through the steps I took. Um, I copied all this data here. I know there's a copy data, but it doesn't seem to work for me. I use Google Sheets only because I don't have Excel and I'm not about to buy it. But the instructions, the equations should work the same, but let me know if they don't. So here is my copied data here, and hopefully again you can see that. So I'm going to find the slope first, and then I'll find the y-intercept. So the slope, I'm going to put equals slope. And again, I believe it's the same in Excel. And I'm going to do a range of my y values. So B1 to B15, comma, the range of my x values. So A1 to A15, and that is my slope. I'm going to do the same thing for the y. It's trying to autofill. I'm not going to. So for the y-intercept, instead of doing equals slope, I'm going to do equals intercept. There we go. Parentheses, again, my y range, comma, my x range, parentheses, and there's my y-intercept. So it calculated the slope for me, it calculated the y-intercept for me. So this is my original y. These are my actual y values. Over here, I'm going to choose D, but it doesn't really matter where you do it. This is going to be my, in fact, maybe I should move this down a little bit so I can label. The actual y, this is going to be my residual. Or this is, no, excuse me, this is going to be my estimated. So I'm going to use this equation. I'm going to put equals. So y equals mx plus b is basically what I'm doing. Equals the slope times, so shift 8 times the x plus the y-intercept, which I have calculated down here at B19. And again, not again, I'm going to use, I'm going to try to use Excel or Google. I'm going to try and use the properties in there to make my life a little easier. So I'm going to put a $sign in between B and 18 because I want to keep that number the same. The x value is going to change as we go down the line here as I calculate this estimated over and over again. The y-intercept, I also want to keep that number the same. So what the $sign is going to do is it's going to keep the slope and keep the y-intercept numbers the exact same, but it's going to allow the x value to change. So there's my estimated, and if I drag this down, it's going to do that same calculation over and over again. And we can see here it kept B18 and B19, the y or slope and y-intercept, but the x value changed. So it did allow the x value to change. You don't have to do it that way, but that's a shortcut. So the residual then, residual is going to be the actual, if I put equals, the actual minus that estimated. I could autofill, and that could probably work. I don't want either of these numbers to change as I go down, so I'm not going to put any $signs in this one. I want it to do D3 minus B3, D4 minus B4. So if I just drag this down, it's going to do that subtraction. So it's going to find the difference between my estimated and the actual for all these. I want then the square of that. So I'm not going to put a title on it, but I'm going to square the residual basically. So I'm going to do equals whatever that residual is to the power of 2. So shift 6 is to the second power. I suppose you could do E2 times E2, There'd be nothing wrong with that. Again, it could autofill, but I'll drag it down. Go. So E3 squared, E4 squared, E5. It's taking all these numbers squared, so that gets rid of the negatives for us. And then I want to equal the sum. So I'm going to put equals sum of the squares of that residual. So I'm going to drag through there, F2 through F16. And there we have our sum of the square of the error. So it's off by a little bit. We are going to find the square of that. Hopefully that helps. If that wasn't the question you were asking, if you were asking more for explanation of what we were doing, what that number means, rather than a how to do it, let me know and I can do a different video really kind of talking about why do we care, as opposed to just how to make the problem work using these spreadsheet tools that we have.